Each cross tie has a safety release clip on it. These clips are used when a horse needs to be released from the cross ties quickly without putting the handler at risk of getting hurt. These should only be used in emergencies by a trained volunteer. To release the cross tie, you pull down on the middle of the clip. When grooming and tacking a horse in the cross ties, please make sure to shut all doors. This includes the green doors to the arena and into the barn. Try to avoid grooming or touching the horse's face unnecessarily. This avoids the promotion of mouthiness and encourages the horse to respect your space. If the horse's face is dirty, then it is appropriate to groom their face with the body or soft brush, but only in this instance should someone be touching the horse's face. When working around a horse, no matter where you are, whether it be in the stall, in the cross ties, in the arena, or in the field, the horse should always be aware of your presence. This can be achieved by touching or talking to the horse and avoiding fast, harsh movements. You should never go behind a horse or under a horse. Doing these could startle the horse and present the potential for injury to both the horse and volunteer. Also, you should never kneel near a horse, for example when grooming their legs or picking out their hooves. Rather, you should bend at the waist, keeping your legs straight. This is done to allow the volunteer to get up faster in cases of an emergency. When moving around the horse, try to avoid unnecessarily touching them. For example, when walking around the horse's head, take it wide and try not to pull on the horse's face. This avoids unnecessary contact and potential aggravation. Start off by cleaning out your horse's hooves. It is important to do this first in the grooming process, as it ensures that the horse is standing comfortable for the entire grooming process with no rocks in their feet. Hold the hoof pick with the pick side down and away from you like so. You will want to avoid the frog area of the hoof, as this is the sensitive part of their foot. Be sure to sweep immediately after picking out your horse's hooves to prevent the horse from stepping in what you just picked out. Next, use the curry comb. This is the rubber tool in the horse's grooming kit that has small teeth. This tool is used in circular motions going with the horse's hair. The purpose of this brush is to bring up all the dirt and mud that may be stuck in the horse's hair. Be sure to only use this brush on the meaty parts of the horse, so not the horse's face or legs. Third is the dandy or hard brush. This is the brush with the harder, usually long bristles. The purpose of this brush is to clear away any of the dirt brought up by the curry comb, as well as clean away any stuck-on dirt missed by the curry comb. This brush is used in short flicks and can be used on the same parts of the horse's body as the curry comb. Finally, the body or soft brush is used. This is the brush with the softer, usually shorter bristles. The purpose of this brush is to clear away the remaining dirt as well as bring out the natural shine in the horse's coat. This brush can be used on all parts of the horse and only used on the face if it needs to be groomed in long strokes. Please give extra attention when grooming to the horse's girth and saddle area. It is very important that these areas are cleaned to ensure that no dirt causes rubbing while the saddle is on. Also, do not worry about brushing the horse's mane or tail. This is a job we leave to the horse's exercise rider. Starting with the regular saddle pad, ensure that the front of the pad, the Velcro straps are closer to the front of the horse, is facing front and the top of the pad, or the clean side, is facing up. Place the pad on the horse's back, starting high on the withers and sliding the pad back until its natural stopping point. Some of our horses use T-pads instead of regular pads. Please see the therapeutic saddle portion of this video to see how they are used. If the horse uses a half pad, this will be indicated on the chalkboard. Place this on next. Line up the wider part of the pad with the front of the regular saddle pad with the fluffy side down. Now you are ready for the saddle. Place the saddle onto the horse's back gently so that it sits centered on the pad underneath. Make sure all flaps are lying flat on the horse's back. Pull the saddle pads up into the pommel to ensure clear space above withers for airflow and to relieve tension. Next is the girth. If the girth has elastics, make sure these end up on the left side of the horse. Attach the girth from the right side on the loosest hole. Be sure to attach the girth to the first and the third billets on the saddle. Go around the front of the horse, avoiding touching or pulling on their face, and grab the girth from underneath. Do up slowly on the left side until the girth is fairly snug. Please ensure that the girth is not too tight, as this is the job of the instructor right before the lesson begins. Attach the reins onto the saddle and clip onto the cavesson. Starting with the designated saddle pad as indicated on the chalkboard, usually a T-pad, ensure that the word top is facing up and that the valves are open and facing forwards. As explained with the regular saddle pad, you will want to start high on the withers and slide the pad back until its natural stopping point. Now you are ready for the therapeutic saddle. This saddle can be a bit heavier and bulkier, so be sure to place it flatly and gently onto the horse's back. This saddle should also sit relatively centered on the pad underneath. Pull on the strap at the front of the T-pad up into the pommel until the valves are 1 inch apart. Always use the therapeutic saddle girth, usually located with the therapeutic saddles, Ensuring that the elastics end up on the left, attach the girth on the right side on the first hole. Go around the front of the horse again, avoiding touching or pulling on their face, and grab the girth up on the left side until the girth is fairly snug. Please ensure that the girth is not too tight, as this is the job of the instructor right before the lesson begins. Make sure you check to see which type, if any, of stirrups are used with this rider. This can be found on the chalkboard. Attach the reins onto the saddle and clip onto the cavesson. Usually with a Surcingle, whether it be hard or soft, a Western-style saddle pad is used. The front of the pad can be distinguished by the smaller patch of leather. The longer patches of leather should always go on either side of the horse. Place the Western saddle pad high on the horse's withers and slide back until its natural stopping point. Place the Surcingle onto the horse's back so that the girth leathers hang right behind the horse's front legs. Attach the girth on the right side onto the loosest hole. Go around the front of the horse, again avoiding touching or pulling on their face, and grab the girth from underneath. Do up on the left side until the girth is fairly snug. Please ensure that the girth is not too tight, as this is the job of the instructor right before the lesson begins. Attach the reins onto the saddle and clip onto the cavesson.